Bury the...
Hello, Mercenaries of Mischief. It is I, Kai. Welcome to your Wednesday night with us on Of Those Lost. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition homebrew adventure with horror and fantasy and mystery. I'm Kai, your Dungeon Bartholomew Master. And I will be taking this lovely party on this journey. I'm going to go around, have the party introduce themselves, our lovely players, and we're going to get underway, starting with Arcady.
Oh, hi, I'm Arcady. I play Pell, who's real squishy, but packs a real big punch like we saw last week.
Yeah. Jade.
Hey y'all, I'm Jade. I go by she, they pronouns, and I'm playing Kaja, who also goes by she, they pronouns.
Jonathan.
I am Jonathan. I gotta make sure I hit the right one. He, him. I push the buttons. I'm the producer. I'm also playing Bevan, who is a tiefling, and he's a real nice guy. That's really all I gotta worry about.
Yeah.
Bevan's a cool guy.
What about you, Puck?
I am Gabro Scoria, the protector of the earth and its dutiful warden and steward.
Cypher, you want to say where you want to jump in on that?
You really have to make me follow him, don't you?
Hey everybody, I'm Saber. My pronouns are they, them, they, he. Cyphers are he, they. We're not sure. Don't worry about it. He's a good boy who's real grumpy all the time. But yeah, I'm super excited to have him here.
Cypher is my best friend.
Remember we talked about PvP off screen?
Yeah. And I am Kai. I use he, they, she pronouns. I will use all pronouns while playing the wonderful world of the Kingdom of Hull and the Hollow. I like to do this wonderful thing where we all get to hear what the players think is going on in this game, and I would love a recap from our wonderful cast.
So,
Let me tell you, all my notes are just about my character. But hey, I can start.
Wow.
Go ahead. Take it away.
We got to meet the two kings last session, and I believe we made the map last session. We did some like doodly things. Bevan and Cypher sat down and compiled their knowledge about what Hole looks like, or the Hollow looks like inside. And then we got to meet the kings, and Cypher appears to have some kind of cute man crush, and is stealing things and wants to get access to the cool signet thing. And we got a pouch with lots of monies in it and potions of cool things. And there's a cow that has a lot of fur and like big, huge antler things that Uncle Gerard gets cows from Bevan. That's a note I have.
I love that.
Saber takes the most important notes, guys.
Right? There's also a mace of destruction. I'm not sure. It's a holy scepter. Cypher's kind of knows that Gabbro got it.
Yeah, it's the like passed down through the royal line. Like only the royalty at the time uses it, and they gave it to Gabbro.
Now.
One of the kings is a fire genasi, and like Gabbro was really respectful, and then the other king is an Asmar. And we learned secrets about Kaja, but I'll stop there. So that's my recap. That's as much as I've got.
Cool. I will pick you up on I guess Kaja's side of things. So we went into the kings using royal name dropping. That usually goes pretty well. We got stuff. They told us that we're just going to go to the healing. They're not going to send an army. That was a little bit much, but they'll give us money and potions and stuff, which we already talked about. Then the party goes back to my house, and we go to the library, and I open up a book, and then chat causes chaos, and then Kaja gets cursed by the book, and then the book is yelling secrets about how what we thought about Tyrhaven being like, super duper trying to help out their comrades, actually didn't. They're actually kind of like assholes. The queen was an asshole. And then the queen's knowledge turned into a paper monster that like Pell just destroyed.
Definitely didn't take notes on the chaos. Whoops.
Pew pew pew, shadow chaos, giant Doberman, spectral dog. Problem solved.
And then there was some
Really
conflict,
fast problem solved.
where secrets were revealed, like said earlier, and Pell wasn't happy about that. So she ate all of Kaja's expensive cheese and wine and oranges.
Yeah, I found out that Bevan was lying to me about a big thing for like the past 15 years, and he's been sneaking into the Hollow without me. But he doesn't quite know why.
A lie of omission.
Still a lie.
It's sure, but at the same time, like Pell has never asked Bevan a lot about the time in the Hollow that she knew about. So that's his like self-rationalization for not telling her this thing he knows she would definitely want to know.
I made him lie to me, is what he's saying.
Yes, that's how he sees it. It's a little fucked up, but he's dealing with some shit.
I got a rad mace from a dude with fiery hair, and then we went to Kaja's house, which is way better than Cypher's house. And then we
It's not my house.
Then we fought a
We're
haunted
staying
book.
at an inn.
And I was, I wanted to know about other haunted books that may exist in the house, and I was told that there were none, so I immediately lost interest, and then I wasted a buff. So that was...
Like you do.
Oh yeah, and now it turns out that everybody's traumatized because Kasha's traumatized too, and she's now revealed as a fallen Azamar. So that is you basically know everybody's races now. Classes, a little bit, perhaps, if you were paying attention.
Oh.
No information is officially on
I'll
the
never
cards
tell.
yet.
So you're gonna have to remember what I just said.
You should put your
painfully
guesses. Yeah, you should put your guesses in chat though, because it
Yeah.
is fun to read.
Yeah, if you think you can figure out our race class makeups, by all means, we want to hear that.
I love this. Welcome to why I have you guys do the recap. It brings me so much joy. Before we jump into the actual session, quick review. We have a wonderful tipping system that allows you all to tip the tides of fate in our lovely game. You'll notice next to all of our lovely cast, there are these little token things. They all have numbers on them. A lot of people are up to 4. So each of those tokens is good for a roll at advantage for that individual character. But if they accumulate 5, it is good for a flashback. And what that means is that the player gets an automatic success on a check so long as they narrate the story as to what they did in the past that allows them to automatically succeed in that moment. And if you all are feeling extra generous and maybe a little chaotic, we had a fun time last session with the meter at the bottom, my little extra special treat. For me, it is the chaos meter. If we fill the chaos meter tonight, so it resets every session. If we fill it tonight, a event will occur. Kaja's book that eventually gave them a little fun, spooky encounter, but also quite a bit of information, came from a wonderful chaos meter tipping. And I love a little chaos, little treat for me. So yeah, if you guys are feeling like bringing some extra chaos or giving some extra benefit to our cast, by all means, we are so grateful, and you can see the benefits of it here and now. And with that, we're gonna get started.
Hold on. The chaos meter just jumped.
Oh,
Already. Thank you.
Anonymously, and it just says, "Let's get more chaos." So everybody
I
gets a
love
coin. It's 25. Came through for 25, so it looks like everybody gets a coin. So let's just get these in here.
That's so many flashbacks for like so many people right now.
Yeah, chaos for me and for flashback potentials.
Point of clarification. You said it resets every session. If it fills, can it reset and fill a second time in the same session?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I love a challenge.
Let us do it.
Well, thank you, Anonymous, from me, because I like seeing the chaos meter fill, but also from our lovely cast.
Thank
for,
you, Anonymous. I like
giving
the
them
Guy
their
Fawkes
fifth
mask.
token for
Be anonymous.
all right. Well, you all have retired in the estate that belongs to your companion, Kaja. And in the capital city of Tyrhaven in the Kingdom of Hull. The night in Tyrhaven is relatively quiet. The city is kept in pretty tight order under the guise of peace, but with a little bit of ominous military presence marching through the streets, as the city is in fact guarded by the King's Guard, which is a part of the military of Hull that the kings have declined to send into the Hollow. Maybe because what goes into the Hollow does not often come out. But we've recently learned that things do come out, and sometimes people come out once or twice. In the case of Bevan, maybe more. So you all get your lovely night's rest in, some of you, probably the nicest beds you've ever slept in.
I would search for a cellar or like anywhere that I can be either underground or close to ground.
There's definitely a root cellar.
Excellent. Just what I need.
I've requested every extra pillow I can get just because I can.
That cellar, by the way, has a lot of do not enter on it.
I abide by no signs.
What's the weather like?
The night weather was cool, a little rainy. It is very often overcast in Hull. The region itself has a lot of showers, especially it'll be sunny in the morning, and then by the afternoon it'll be cloudy, or more like foggy in the morning with some sun, and then less sun in the afternoon, cloudy and rainy.
If it's rainy, then I guess Bevan will sleep indoors. But if they're very soft beds, it's a fitful sleep. Halfway through the night, he moves down to the floor.
But rest is had. You all have taken a bit of a commission from the kings. They have asked that you help aid your traveling companion Haver, the messenger from the Protectorate of Bolsenia, a now gone kingdom where the Hollow is now. Either through time travel or some other unknown reason, Haver does not know what happened in the last 200 years since the war that eventually ended, with the Hollow being all that was left of the Protectorate. The morning comes peacefully in this area. It's wealthy. The market is far enough away that you don't hear all the carts bustling in and out of the main gates of the city. And breakfast is already prepared before anyone is awake. The staff of the home eager to actually serve guests and entertain just as much as they are quiet and demure.
As soon as Bevan hears motion, he's up and looking for coffee.
Kausha would already be downstairs in a very like luxurious looking purple robe that has it's embroidered and has a bunch of like glitterish pieces onto it. Is very much unlike what she normally wears. Oh, morning. Hope you had a good rest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everything was just absolutely beautiful home. Is this, how long have you had it?
I mean, I was actually bored here, not like here in the kitchen, but like here in the house. So,
Really?
I don't know. At least I would say at least like 100 years, give or take, because my grandpa, and I assume that my grandpa, although he's dead, but he would be like 80, so probably around then.
Wow, okay. So
It's an older house, but yeah, it's not mine. I would not buy property, especially in Tyrhaven.
yeah. While I kind of have you for a minute, what else have you? Do I ask this? And you can see he's kind of wrestling with like, yeah, how does he want to phrase things? Have you ever come across or heard of people coming out of the hollow with things sort of hatched?
Like physically attached,
That's
or
more like metaphysically, like in essence.
let's see, what did Kaja know? DBM.
What exactly?
Like, has there been like weird illnesses? Because that's what her mind's gonna immediately
Yeah.
go towards. So even if that's not what Bevan is implying.
There
Yeah,
hasn't
no,
been
interpret it however.
a particular stream of illnesses or anything like that. It's you do know that there is some recurring problems, specifically with people who live on the border of the Hollow, especially people who like eat food that comes out of the rivers and things like that, where they're really just like sick, and you have seen some people just like slowly necrotize. Normal stuff. But as far as like
Normal
regular illnesses go, it's your standard fare outside of spooky undead related things.
Cool. I wouldn't say that like it's been like a lot of very, very metaphysical injuries, ailments, I suppose. It does drain away at your life force, but that's typically like most necrotic illnesses and damage are. I mean, anyone in or outside the Hollow, I assume, can cast a couple of spells with that type of magic, but I haven't really spoken to anyone who's actually been in and out. I usually deal with the people who linger too close to the border.
As you're having this conversation, you both easily hear footsteps coming down the stairs, heavy, slow.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Haver, your half-orc, more than a little undead messenger, looks 1,000-mile stare, very much so, barely looks back at you when you say good morning.
Did you sleep?
No.
You didn't sleep much on the trip up here, or did you actually sleep at all on the trip down here?
I can't seem to fall asleep.
Are you feeling sleepy though?
No.
Well, at least you can fuel up with some food if you would like to. At least
Okay.
try. There's also sipping water.
Yeah. And he just starts walking towards the front door.
Where are you going?
Huh? Like he snaps out of a dream for a minute and kind of actually looks back at you.
We were going to eat before we headed out on our very long journey
Right. Yeah.
that we should do together.
Yeah, we're going back to Isa.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And with that, Kajas will like pull out one of the chairs at the table and gesture towards Haver for him to sit.
Yeah. And he just, almost like every other step, he forgets what he's doing for a minute, but then he eventually does make it to the chair and carefully, awkwardly sit down. He did not change out of his clothes last night. He's still carrying everything he brought with him.
In contrast to Kaja's luxurious robe, Cypher is still wearing his clothes, but he is physically cleaner than you've ever seen him. His hair is still wet and he's ruffling his hands through it and like looks really refreshed. And then also in contrast to how he normally is, he seems to be in a much better mood than you've ever seen him. And so that's also contrasting Havor as he comes down the stairs really slowly. Cypher is very quick and just kind of like makes his way past Havor as Havor's heading toward the door, and takes a seat and like doesn't even say hi to anybody and just starts eating whatever is there on the table. But as he passed Havor, I wanted to see if I could sleight of hand grab anything off of Havor.
Sure. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand. We're going to see how aware Haver is feeling today.
That's a nat 20.
Goodness. Yes.
I'm sure you know what I'm aiming for.
Yes, I do. And I will say that is very well hidden, so give me just a minute. You're a menace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Haver. Yeah, there's no planet where he could even tell what was going on, including that if he was going to roll, it'd be a disadvantage. He's having a morning. Yeah, you brush by him, and his cloak, he's got this green cloak that when you get closer to it, you realize that there is like an actual crest that were he wearing it just like over him, like normal, you would see that it'd be the middle of his back, the crest of the Protectorate, which you've seen on the thing that you were looking for, I'm assuming. And he has it pushed over his shoulder, and he's got this longbow that, and the quiver that goes with it over his shoulder that just pushes the cloak out of the way enough. And you've seen him pull this seal of the Protectorate out and put it away. And so you know exactly where it's hidden. And with his distraction, you walk by and just like a feather brushes his back. You unhook the pouch and lift it. You don't risk closing the pouch again, but you do have in your hand the fairly large seal of the Protectorate of Bolsenia.
In that case, I still sit at the table, but I'm eating very quickly, only with one hand. And under my robe, I am holding it with the other and shoveling food in my mouth.
So Kaja knows by now suspicious sus face Cypher. So can I roll an insight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Math time. That's 25.
How secretive are you being about your glee about what you've accomplished?
Well, I'm very much hoping that the glee is masked by how excited I am with the food. But I also know Kaja well enough that I would probably see her looking at me, and I think she knows me well enough that she might get an idea of what my expression means when I look from the food to my thigh to the food.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if there's like a
And
little
she knows that
tell-
I'm interested in that, but I don't know. That's a high roll.
I will say, I think you know that Cypher has stolen something, whether it is belonging of yours or someone else's. Unknown. But there's a twinkle to him.
Well, good morning to you too. Hello. I hope that the gold that the kings gave us is still planning to be shared. And also, if there's anything that you that caught your eye, if it's mine, I can just let you have it without the sneaking. Just saying, just tidbit.
Kaja, I'm appalled at this accusation.
Okay.
What is that expression? Okay. What is it you think I've stolen? Shifting my hand.
I mean, I don't. Did I see? You know what? I probably didn't.
I think I want Cypher. I want you to roll another sleight of hand. You've been sitting there eating, and I will say you can. You can roll a perception check to see if you see what Cypher is doing.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat that. Yeah, I didn't. It's it's under 10 for sure. So.
Oh, bummer. Yeah. No. Sneaky, mysterious person.
Well,
honestly, Kaja, I think if there's anything of yours that I'd like, I would probably ask you first.
Well, then I appreciate that. And I hope that this does not cause any problems on the trip. Because without my things, it could only be... And then she racks her brain for people who have things that could possibly be stolen from how they've gauged her home. Options are slim, but I don't think that you're going to be getting all of your money back from Gabbro, perhaps.
At that, as though summoned, bursting through the root cellar, Gabbro steps into the kitchen, and he's caked with dirt in various places.
Your soil has been tilled underneath your own home. You're welcome.
And he comes in. It was a beautiful night's rest. I see we have breakfast laid out. Excellent.
Hey, Blue.
Where did you sleep?
In the root cellar, close to the earth.
He kind of burrows a bit.
Oh.
You maybe shake that off outside before you sit down.
Yes, of course.
One of the servants comes over and he's got a broom in one hand. He's like a young, skinny guy. He's got like a broom in one hand and he's just like sweeping it up as you walk.
Don't worry, Dr. Kaja. While I was down there, I noticed that somebody had done a terrible job returning things to the earth for you. I've done it properly. You are welcome. He just walks outside to go rinse off.
You may have had some of your stock buried a little.
The head of the kitchen, a dwarvish woman, walks over, just looks into the root cellar, and just comes out like dabbing her face with a rag and like pulling on her beard a little.
And she's just going to like make that noise and go straight to the cellar to check out the damage.
And I think at that point, Pell bounces down, promptly ignoring Bevan and making a beeline to sit closer to Cypher than he probably likes, to start eating breakfast with Cypher instead.
Good morning.
Hi. Did you sleep well?
It's as if no one's ever asked him that question in his entire life that he can remember.
Yes, I did. Did you?
Yeah, you sound confused.
I'll be honest, I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before.
Cypher, that's really sad. Like, not in a pathetic way, in a genuinely tragic way.
Then, thank you, I guess.
You're welcome.
Sorry, what did you, how did you sleep?
Oh, pretty good. I got like 26 pillows.
Kaja, that's like
Nice.
every pillow in your house.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're down in the root cellar, but you can hear them. You're not far away.
I was wondering where mine went.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe got a little overexcited.
It's fine. I'm actually not used to having pillows, or if I do, they're not very comfortable, so.
Cypher, that's also sad. And that is kind of in a pathetic way.
Then I'm offended, I think.
I'm sorry?
That was a
As
question.
you all debate what offense has been taken, Kaja, as you walked towards your root cellar, Haver has not touched any food.
I was gonna ask.
He's just kind of sitting, staring. If you were watching, it's not hard to miss. He has not moved. He's not breathing. He's just sitting there, staring at the middle distance.
We, in traveling with him, basically from Lorch to Tyrhaven, did I ever see him eat anything?
Yeah, he ate if food was offered. You did see him like pull what must have been rations or something out of a bag, but I don't think you ever got a really good look at them. And he's definitely not fully just blue screened like this before in your presence.
Yeah. Evan will reach across the table and kind of like tap him on the arm. Hey,
Yeah.
you with us?
Yes.
What's going on in there? You don't mind me asking?
I think I have to go home.
Yeah, I was meaning to ask. Are you sure about that? Like, we can go and do whatever needs to be done. Are you sure you want to go back?
I don't know if there's another thing I could want.
What if it's not there when we get there?
I don't know. I have to go back. Bevan, I'm gonna allow you to roll an insight check on what the hey is going on here.
What's going on?
What
with
the
Hey
heck
Hey?
is going on
What the
around
hey
here?
is going on with Hey Hey? Insight's not horrible, but that is not great to Nate.
He just wants to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear I'm homesick too.
Yeah. When you say there's nothing else you could want, do you think, like, this is gonna sound weird. This is gonna sound weird, but everything's a little wild, right? Do you think that, like, literally something is deciding what you want for you?
You blue screen out Haver for a minute. We're gonna see. He's gonna roll his own insight check on himself. Bad.
Bad, not good.
Not good. No, I think it's my home. The captain, I think, needs me back. Yeah. And even though you know that there is a decent chance that that captain that he is referring to is not there anymore, he's got to go back for some reason.
Well, look, Haver, if you change your mind and you don't want to come or you want to stay, I'm sure any of us would be happy to have you stay with us and help you transition. You don't have to go back into the hole or into the hollow if you don't want to. You do have a choice.
I want to. I
don't
want
know
to.
if we should be offering quarter when we don't know if we're going to be coming back to provide it.
Oh, now you're concerned. Now you're concerned about coming back from the hollow.
I am concerned about offering up to be responsible for something and then not knowing if we're going to be able to follow through that responsibility.
That's ironic, considering you're stuck with me now.
I'm stuck with you now.
This dynamic is so different than what I'm used to. Is everything okay over here? Looking to the two of them.
Evan didn't tell me he'd kept returning to the hollow for years.
And that bothers you?
Yeah, because maybe I would have liked to go back, or even if I didn't go back, I would have liked to know where he was gone so he just didn't up and disappear or die. And also it's tinged with this, oh no, Pell, I didn't want you to come to the hollow so you wouldn't die, which is not his choice to make and mildly condescending. So, Cypher, I'm a little grumpy.
I see. Well, I don't want to get in the middle
Cypher,
of
you've
it.
spread.
To be fair, anytime I leave into the wilderness, I might not come back. And if you really wanted to venture into the hollow, you've never mentioned it. You certainly never tried to go yourself. When have I ever stopped you from doing anything? When have I been able
It seemed like a touchy subject for you, so I never brought it up with
It
you.
is a touchy subject.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
When you were down in the root cellar, returning what belongs to the earth, I'm just gonna have you roll a perception check, no reason.
Oh boy. I'm not good at that.
I know. Oh, wow. Yes, perfect. No, everything's fine.
That's a 2.
You buried those roots and everything is fine.
Somebody did a terrible job of returning things to the earth down here, and I'm going to do it proper. I will return back to the kitchen at this point, though. Just soaking wet, just like a wet rock coming in and putting his armor back on.
The same skinny servant is now walking behind you with a rag, just wiping up all the water.
Sorry that took so long. I'm weak to water types. Anyways, that's the long silence that hangs in the air.
As Gabbro walks in, the dripping just stopping for a moment, Haver stands up and starts to walk for the door again.
Hey, Haver, I thought you were going to come with us.
And he stops. I was just sitting. Now I'm.
We should go soon.
Agreed.
Do you, kind of important question, Haver. Do you remember any of the time between when you were sitting and this moment? Remember standing up and walking towards the door?
No.
Kind of like something out of your control is making you walk to a certain destination.
I don't. That's. I don't know about that, but I think I just. I don't know. Lost track of time or something.
Yeah.
I do want to go home though. Your hospitality is very appreciated, Lady Kaja. If you're leaving, I can travel with you, but I think I do have to go.
Well, any chance I can get to see some semblance of Volsenia, I think is important. I'll get ready to leave as well.
Cypher, I'm gonna have you roll an Arcana check. My God, you guys, this is out of hand.
I used all my good rolls on stealing stuff.
Apparently, Kaja, you have not rolled for this. Have you emerged from the root cellar?
Yeah, I was just waiting.
Everything seems in order,
Everything's
except for the potatoes and yams and things that have been buried where they shouldn't be.
Yeah. And yeah, Kasha comes back out. She's a little disheveled and a little uncomfy. But she is there, and she's actually gonna cast a class ability. That I won't say because I think it's fun not to say.
Yeah, it's spicy.
So, my questions from the what it is are: is there?
Yes. The lovely person that you've gotten to know pretty well over the last couple of little tiny micro adventures that you've had together, and Haver both catch your attention.
Gotcha. Cool.
And with that, I will also then allow you to roll a religion or arcana check. And I just need you to tell me which one.
I'm not trusting D&D Beyond Dice because I've almost killed a character that way. So
they're betraying us tonight as well, so that's fair.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, that's a 17 plus. Let's see. You said religion or what now?
Or arcana, whichever one. I just need to know which.
It'll be we're gonna do religion.
Sounds right.
Yeah, 23 total.
Beautiful. You look at Cypher, S name, sorry, Saber, Cypher, and you have some idea of what's going on with Cypher. Not the whole picture, but the reason why they catch your attention is fairly plain to you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Haver is being called in a way that you are only familiar with through reading. You know of those who died and came back with a singular purpose. Haver is a revenant. And to what end his purpose is, you do not know. But this behavior shows you that he is not just some person touched by undeath, but rather his clock is ticking and something has brought him back for a single purpose.
In that case, Kaja will turn to Haver and kind of straighten up to her full height. If it doesn't bother you at all, I would think that I would like to do checks of everybody before we head out, make sure that everyone is up to snuff, ready for the adventure, if they so consent. And I think I'd like to start with you, Haver, if that's okay.
I already put my shirt back on, but all right.
All right.
Yeah, clunk, clunk, clunk. Armor clatters to the ground.
It's chip and nails, not chip and nails.
Thing.
I can do that with people clothed, but I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Very well. Clunk,
Yes.
clunk, clunk.
And if Haver accepts, then Kaja will come near them and put their hand on their back and kind of guide them to like one of the closer rooms, slightly private, but she will look to the party and give them like the something's happening look, depending on how you can interpret that, how your character can.
Everyone except for Gabbro could probably pick that up.
May I roll an insight?
Please roll an insight and please roll poorly.
I got a
Yes!
5.
You nailed it.
We get private checkups. It is good to have a doctor in the party.
Oh my god. Yes, Kaja, Haver willingly goes with you with no hesitation. Gabbro definitely gets what you're putting down.
Oh no.
Oh, look at that, pal. Doing health checkups. I'm sure you'll be in line for that, huh?
Yes, I've never been in an adventuring party that offers free physicals. The benefits have already been amazing.
I'm just shooting daggers at Bevan with my eyes at this point.
I think your sickly friend is angry with you.
Kaja.
Really? Why do you
So
suppose that?
and I love everyone's dynamic so much. Yeah, in the one of the closest room, it's probably more of another bedroom. Kaja will close the door behind her, Haver's in front of her, and motion for him to sit down, probably at the end of the bed.
He very awkwardly like moves his longbow and plops himself down.
So, actually, why I wanted to check up on you is that, so it's about your condition.
Oh.
Because this is very, very uncommon for the living.
For the living.
You see, you have perished once before.
What?
You died of something. I can't really tell what. And you are now alive again.
Roll a persuasion check for me with advantage. You've done very well, and your party has helped pave the road to this conversation.
Thank you for advantage, because holy crap. Okay, this never happened to me before. But okay, on the advantage, not one first one, but also not 20 on the second.
Dice do have 20 sides. I'm just pointing this out. You don't have to do one then the other.
It's like the little emblem. That's the thing.
Love it.
Can confirm.
He sits there for a moment, and kind of touches the mark on his face and just kind of sits and thinks. I died. I died during the war, didn't I?
I'm so sorry, but I do believe so. It's the more likely occurrence that someone caused you or willed you back to life for their own purposes.
And why do I want to go home?
Then you don't?
I do. I want
You
to go
do.
home. I have to go home.
Is that something that you want, or is that something that you feel?
It's all I want.
Okay. But if you don't mind, typically when people are brought back to life. They have a time limit, if you will. That's what I was referring to earlier when we were asking about your condition. So I can help you make sure that your time limit is longer, perhaps a week or two more than normal, and that could get you
listen,
back home.
you sound like you're coming from a nice place, but I remember leaving home and everything was fine. The captain sent me on my way, told me to bring aid. None of this makes sense to me. I believe you that something happened, maybe on my way, but
I apologize for cutting you off, but if you believe me and if you trust me, I think that if I can just do this simple thing for you, we can go back to the Hollow and my worries will be washed away, at least for a little bit. I mean, we are going to the Hollow after all. But I can do this and we can go straight to your home and get you the answers that you need.
what do you need to do?
If you just stand there, I just need to put these little, and then she'll gesture like to the stuff that's in her hand, around your eyes, and they need to stay there, and that should, sustain you for a week or two.
Okay.
And with that, she will be casting, I forgot the name of the spell, but it's a spell, and it has a name. And that
You're
name
doing
is
real good.
Gentle Repose.
There we go. Beautiful. Oh, I love that use of gentle repose. Yes, absolutely. You, does it leave a mark, or do you just touch him with oil?
It needs to stay there. It's like
Nice.
metal and salt. But for Kaja's case, since she has done this before, she knows it's a lot easier to do if you have some type of pre-mixed version of it, for it to actually stay in place.
You touch his still green, vibrant, beautiful, deep foresty toned skin on one side, and the other side, on contact, ash comes off on your finger, but the mark stays.
That is odd. But chalk it up to something that I'll just have to figure out. Shall we?
Sorry for getting short with you. A lot. This is a lot, but I appreciate it.
No worries. It's a lot when your life turns, what you thought was your life turns into something made of a nightmare, for sure.
Turns into my death. But hopefully I can help figure this out. I can't promise that I'm not just going to walk away again.
We will try and keep an eye on you if you still would like us to deep down.
I would.
I think we will have to herd some other people as well, so we'll just add you to the list.
All right. Like sheep. And he gets up and straightens himself out and is ready, more cogent than he was before. Anyone want to do anything else in the house?
When they exit, yeah, I was just gonna ask, do we notice?
I was say, does Saber come back into the room here?
Yeah, Haver steps out pretty quickly, and he seems a little bit more with it.
When Haver comes back in, Bevan stands up. He goes, "I'll go next," and walks into the other room with Kaja.
All right, I feel like this one will be pretty quick, all things considered. Sure.
Sorry, I don't know if you're actually doing.
No, I'm not.
I don't think so.
Oh,
What I did kind of want to ask.
I hope I do not have anything.
I don't know the depth of your. What exactly you do, what the limitations of that are. Do you have any way of being able to tell whether someone's being watched, like magically, some sort of tendril, something? I don't know how all of this manifests.
are you aware of different types of undead?
To an extent, a bit. Mostly, I just try to keep my distance from anything that doesn't seem to be alive. Is he not?
Yes. He is what some people call a revenant. He is a soul gained back to life, usually going for a very, very particular purpose. And they typically don't last, forever, as most undead that are summoned do.
Sure.
So I have given him at least 10 more days to get back to the Hollow, and that seems, at least my hypothesis is that whoever rose him wants him to return. So if we return, then we would meet whoever rose him. This is just pure speculation.
That's
But he's for sure a revenant, I will tell you that.
all right. That's a lot.
I seem to be the person who has to say a lot of things that people don't want to hear today. I'm sorry.
No, that's life. But yeah, just kind of. I'm more specifically concerned if any of us are being tracked, whether that's behavior or anyone else who's been inside the Hollow.
I mean, inside the Hollow, I believe that Cypher has been inside the Hollow. As to other conditions, I don't really see how it's my business to disclose.
Okay, I guess let me raise this again. Am I tagged in any way?
Oh,
where-
are you dead?
Yeah.
No, you're not dead.
No, not dead.
Yeah.
Tagged. Like, has somebody put a tracker, metaphysical, magical? Is there something, some kind of creature or spirit or anything that seems to be watching? Is that a thing you can tell?
I can see if there's magic on your person. I could try. It's not something I do common, but I can try.
All right. Yeah. Like, I didn't know what your whole wheelhouse is.
Is it in my wheelhouse, DM?
I mean, do
You
you
allow.
have detect magic?
Yes.
There are also other means of seeing scrying spells and detecting if someone has particular spells or things on them that might allow tracking.
Yeah. I honestly, above table, don't know how that stuff works because I haven't played high level yet. So
It's all good.
I'm just gonna say that there.
Scrying
that.
usually, if someone is scrying, there is a point that they can see from that appears as an orb to those that can see invisibility or track things like magical presence.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just use detect magic and see if there's anything that shouldn't be magical or is more
Sure.
magical than usual. Because there's probably magic places, but the important
Yes.
bits.
Bevan's magical all on his own, but as far as the mechanical items, Bevan seems fine.
I mean, you seem fine. I don't really detect anything abnormal, magical wise. I myself am not really as proficient in seeing things that are unseen. In this case, usually things that are invisible. But if someone else were to be able to do that, then that would probably be your next bet.
Alright. I'm just wondering if we're walking into it by going into the hollow. Especially with Haven.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Could you repeat that?
I'm wondering if we're walking into a trap.
Mm.
My mic keeps
I
up.
mean, I will say with what I can say, this is part of the knowledge that manifested into that creature. There are definitely, or most likely, are people in the hollow, or a person, and there also were persons in the hollow who summoned. In the category of things that you would find into the hollow to this day.
Cool.
I
All right.
honestly just don't want to fight one of those things again. I really want to tell you.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, it sounds like. All right. I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to limit the number of things that we have to watch out for going in there, but it seems like that's not yeah.
It is unideal, but I think that you and your very small but powerful friend can work out, and I will happily assist, and I'm sure Gabbro will assist, and honestly, if we all do it, then there's the slightest chance that Cypher might do it. So if there was to be something that ails you or someone targeting you, we would help.
Yeah.
And I will personally keep an eye out if anything changes.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at telling when something is following me. But really only if those things are corporeal.
And
You know.
in this plane, yes, in
Yeah.
all, yeah.
Yeah.
Friends!
Yes.
I do not know much about medical processes, I must admit, but I believe that we should set out on our mission. More and more of our party members seem as though they are dying before our eyes.
Oh, that is okay. Give me not two. 5 to 10 minutes. I need to run upstairs real quick and change, and then I will meet you all down. Yeah.
Ben will return to the group. Okay, so, where are we going in at? Let's decide that, maybe.
I'm probably the wrong person to weigh in on this.
Do you think you took the most direct route out?
I took the road, but
Wait.
now I don't know that I'm the most trustworthy source for that bit of information.
Hell, Bevan, was it not you two that found Haver in the hollow? Or
Yeah.
by the hollow?
He was near our town, and I mean,
Yeah.
that's where I originally got in, nearby the town, and apparently that's where Bevan's been getting in all the time.
Yes,
apparently.
traipsing out whenever he pleases, I understand.
Traipsing is a great word, Gabbro. Traipsing.
I assure
Yes.
you it's not whenever I please.
Fearless, a strong warrior to have on our side.
So
I am glad to have
Cypher,
Red with us.
Well, I'll pull out the map.
Yeah, so Cypher, he popped out around Lorch. Is that the most direct line back to... I don't know the interior, like, at all.
DM, maybe help me out with that.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have you roll a survival check.
And as they're figuring out how, what area they're entering and looking at the map, you
18.
now see Kaja coming down the stairs and very, very nice looking, heavier armor than what she was wearing before. It's very weathered and has all the usual things that you know. Kaja's color palette is very similar. But now she has a mace and a shield with her too.
The doctor is in.
We match Dr. Kaja, and with my shiny new mace now. I usually go with a sword, but this is a fine mace, so I suppose I should be using it.
I find them pretty effective. And then she'll just do like a little twirl and then place it on her shoulder.
Ooh, fancy.
Cypher. You are aiming to take Haver back to Iza. Iza is nested in the mountains on the northern side that once were connected to the Besat forest on the northern side of Hull. You would imagine that when Haver is talking about the main road, to your memory, there was a main road that came in and out of Volsenia and into Hull a very long time ago. It used to travel by way of Pottendam, the river town trade center now for Hull. So there's a decent chance that if you were to go in that way, you would find not only the river villages and things that you know are in that region, since the river known as Etzel in Hull, but was once, oh goodness, I named things so complicatedly, was once known as Hari inside of the Hollow and remains referred to as such when it crosses the border, does snake northern towards Iza. So you can gather that entering near Lorch or Pottendam is not the worst idea, but the road itself is quite hazardous now.
Sure. So I'm holding the book open that had the original map of Bosenia with Bevan, and I'm pointing at, this is what Havel might remember coming out of. It's likely covered in debris or other plant life by now, but potentially something we could go through. I know you know the entrance from Lorch. We could try there and move in through that way and see what's available.
If you're going through Lorch, it's fine for a bit.
Then our path is set.
Then everything
Fear not,
gets
friends.
round. Well, if you start from about a day south of Lorch, you can have an easier time getting to the river. We could take the river. I don't know if that's more dangerous or less.
Are any of us good with boats, though?
I'm
Also,
not-
you would be going upstream.
If you tie a rope to me, I could walk along the shore and pull the boat.
Oh wait, I thought you said the river
I do
goes
not want
north
to help with that
inside the
endeavor.
hollow. I thought it hooks back.
The water of the Etzel flows northward in the Kingdom of Hull.
Oh, so it actually, but like the
Yeah. The Basat
itself.
hugs a mountain range that eventually terminates at the sea, and that is where the Etzel terminates as well.
Got it. Okay. All right then. Never
Well,
mind.
Pros of going through Lorch. Bevan and I are familiar with the area, and my moms will probably feed us. Cons, my moms might try and stop us from going into the Hollow, and it would probably take a little bit longer.
Would we be traveling through the forest, or would we be able to go around it?
I mean, eventually we're going to be going through forest one way or another, I'd imagine.
And I'm talking particularly about their forest.
In the hollow.
There as in the lodge? Or
The one near Lorch, the Basat forest.
We don't have to go through the Basat forest, but if you're avoiding the Basat forest, I'm concerned about taking you through the hollow.
No, it's more personal to me than the Hollow
Oh,
could potentially be. That's all.
we don't need to go that far, Melissa.
Perfect.
We're not.
That's all I request.
Yeah.
Well,
if we
friends,
look
we have-
large, we can re-equip.
We have much road ahead of us. Perhaps we just begin heading to the west. And we will enter when we find an open portion. The earth will
But-
show us the way, I'm confident.
might be a little early to meet your parents anyway, love.
That was super smooth. Pel's a little impressed.
She just giggles.
Yeah, you guys gather your things. Does anyone have any final business in Tyrhaven before you all depart? Oh, wonderful.
It's too crowded.
You gather your goods. It is a day and a half's travel from Tyrhaven to Lorch, and we will just travel merrily along as we go on our break, and we'll meet you all the morning of the second day. And with that, we're going to take a little break, and we'll see you all around 7 o'clock in 15 minutes.
Heck yeah.
And
Friends.
there it is.
Hello! Welcome back to Of Those Lost on Mercenaries of Mischief. I am Kai. I use he, they, she pronouns. I'm going to go around and reintroduce you to our lovely cast. We're going to tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do on the internet, and where you can find us when we're not playing this lovely, spooky game. Starting with Arcady.
Hi, I'm Arcady. When I'm not playing the spooky game, I'm playing on the Monday night show, which is a little less spooky, but still kind of a little spooky. I think we're gonna get to some spooky. It's called Last Light, and it's set far north, and winter is gonna show up and kick our asses real soon. So you can tune in Monday nights at the same time as this show to see me and other cool people who you probably know and love too. Otherwise, you can find me hanging out on my Twitter, which is Arcady Koshka. That's also my Facebook and my Instagram, but I am mostly on Twitter. So yeah, come hang out with me over there.
And see pictures of her beautiful cat.
My beautiful cat who's eating dinner right now.
Well, bless him. Jade.
Hi, I'm Jade. Wow. Okay. I just had like a big brain fart.
404.
Yeah.
Hi, Jade.
Just pulled a
Hi,
Haver.
Jade. Boop. But yeah, I use she, they pronouns. I am a host, cosplayer, streamer, content creator. I do a lot of things on the internet, lots of nerdy stuff. And recently I just debuted another cosplay, and you can find that on my Instagram, which is just Jade Valkyrie, like it is next to Kaja over there. Everywhere else you can find me as Jade Valkyrie, and that includes Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, like I mentioned. And here on Twitch you can find me as Jade Valkyrie with a 3 instead of the E at the end of Valkyrie. And I'm going to try and wrangle my brain, but also throw it over to Saber.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Saber. You can find me on Instagram as well. Saber_Sensi is where you can find me. And occasionally playing over on Dirty 20 Gaming. I love both channels and I love being here. And otherwise, like, I don't really hang out on the internet that much. I hang out with real people, my students, and not friends. No, just kidding. Sometimes friends. But hey, we're all in the nerd family, right?
Real people.
Not real. We're not real. I'm not a real person.
Not
Well, I mean, I feel like sometimes I'm in the digital world, Digimon style. And so when I'm sitting in front of my beautiful monitor, it just is like I look around and I'm like, there are real people on the other side of these camera screens, but they're not in here in this room with me. And as a drama teacher, the energy, that's why I love the chat so much, because it's like I actually get to have an audience still. Yeah, I don't know. It's good to have you folks in the chat too. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks for keeping us company, y'all. Bouncing it up to Jonathan.
Oh, okay then.
Surprise!
Hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm the producer here. I play Bevan. So, you can blame me when buttons don't get working right. Things seem to go the wrong way on the screen. That's me stuff. And you can also blame me when people are mad at Bevan for the one secret he's ever kept in his fucking life.
For real.
Excuse me for having a little bit of private life. But I'm a producer, a player, a nonsense stuff maker. So check out my link tree there, and you can find stuff I do there. It's always changing, so link tree's the best place.
He also plays in the Monday show.
I do also play in the Monday show. That is true.
Puck.
Hello. I have a sleepy kitty. So hi everybody. I'm Puck. I DM'd that Monday show. We went on a brief hiatus this week, but we'll be back going strong next week. Don't worry about it. We'll be going to the town of Haven's Gate, where the mysterious Governor Cartwright Graves may have things for our heroes. But I'm the Dungeon Master, Puck. You see me, I went to Edmonton Expo on the weekend. That was fun. I met some cool voice actors. You check out some pics of that on Twitter. I got to meet one of my voice acting heroes, guys. I got to meet Rob Paulson, who
oh my god, I love Rob Paulson.
Is like the sweetest dude in the world, and is like the voice of Yakko and the voice of. And Rob Paulson told me that we're very similar guys because I like to be a goofball all the time, and he's like, yeah, I'm like that all the time too. That's why I like Yakko and Raphael, because I'm a smartass. And I'm like, I love you,
There's
Rob
also
Paulson.
a good decade where you couldn't watch a single animated show that he wasn't in.
Oh yeah, he's in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, my entire childhood, I thought his name was Paul Robson.
Real quick, welcome Raiders. We are just coming back
Raiders.
from our halftime break. Kind of.
You see that song? There's Raiders.
So, yeah.
See, everyone just joining us, we have Dungeons and Dragons and, as a bonus, cats.
Cats. All the time, cats. And you're just in time to hear our Dungeon Master. Oh, wait.
Hello.
Yeah, we got through all our players, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You're just in time to hear our Dungeon Master tell you about these little numbers in our screens.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to reintroduce myself. Everyone, we have these lovely little tokens as a little reminder, a little refresher. Down in the corners of everyone's little player cards. You'll notice that they are, 4 5s and a 4?
Yeah.
Those little tokens can be accumulated, and each of them is $5, and they buy a player advantage on a roll, whether I like it or not. And if they accumulate 5, which 4 of our players have, they gain the ability to have a flashback. And what that means is it is an automatic success on a roll, but they then have to tell us a story as to what they did in the past that allows them to succeed in the moment. And of course, my favorite part of all of this is all of your lovely tips, of course, go to running this delightful show, keeping Jonathan sane while he pushes 1,000 buttons, and to us, your lovely cast and storytellers. But also, if we manage to accumulate $100 during this session, you'll notice that nice little growing bar. It's got a beautiful 25 in it of 100. That is our chaos meter. If we reach 100, something chaotic that I determine for me will happen. Last session, we were gifted with the delightful chance to test out the chaos meter, and the party was treated to a little curse as a treat.
We were attacked by a book, y'all.
I was just chilling in my library and I was like, I'm trying to find stuff for my friends. Pulls book. Boom. Ancient
Haunted book.
knowledge and monster.
It gave like Ronald vibes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
This book was fucking
I love
wild.
chaos. I love chaos. So yes, please, you can help feed our story by giving our players chances to do fun things, and you can feed me, which, you know, dungeon masters thrive in chaos, by feeding that lovely chaos meter. Last but not least, making new words tonight. Hello, everyone. I'm Kai. I use he, they, she pronouns. You can find me on the internet on all social media platforms as Estelle of Imladris. It is Elvish. You can see it typed in our lovely chat. I do not recommend trying to spell it phonetically. You can find me here on Wednesday nights running this delightful show for these wonderful, wonderful people. You can find me on Tuesday nights being a angry vampire with a baseball bat over on Going Critical in Manhattan by Midnight, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. And coming very soon, I am currently in development on a web series as the costume designer called The Party. More information coming soon. A story about Dungeons and Dragons, about people who play Dungeons and Dragons. And I have been a producer for the last year on an upcoming podcast called The Lore Brewery, a roundtable tabletop game podcast, tabletop actual play podcast, which includes a bunch of game masters, both playing created and new games, both homebrew and entirely new systems. And
Did you say
yeah,
upcoming on that project?
yes.
Is
So
there
the
a
Lore Brewery,
launch date set?
we're going to launch in this year. We have plans and machinations, but we have to get through the web series first because most of us are working on that. And then we'll be back to telling stories together instead of telling other people's stories for other people to enjoy. But yes, in the meantime, let's come back to the Kingdom of Hole and the Hollow. The travel from the capital city of Tyrhaven in the Kingdom of Hole for the last day was pleasant. You woke up in the morning, you had breakfast, some conversations were had about who's dead and who's not, and some things were buried that didn't need to be. And then you guys made your way out of town, and the rolling hills between Pottendam and Tyrhaven were picturesque, beautiful, rain-covered farmland for the most part. Many of you have traveled down this road before, choosing to take the more direct westward path instead of looping northward to Caden and then through Vegcruz towards Lorch, since we've determined that going all the way to Lorch, you might get stuck eating dinner with Pel's family.
They're great. I don't know why you don't want to get dinner with my
Your
family.
moms
They
are
make
lovely.
The best bread in the entire kingdom.
I've been told they may impede our quest.
That is true. They might lock me in the bedroom and not let me go. And Bevan too, because they like him.
I really, don't see the problem. Look, it might not be the worst idea to stop through there.
I'm highly suspicious that Bevan is only saying this to try to get my parents to lock me in the bedroom so that I cannot go into the hollow. No, it's more direct to just go west. I don't think we need to go home. It would be lovely, but we can go home when we're done.
The fierce warrior Pell makes an excellent point.
I'm just thinking I could grab some supplies from my hunting stock. I wasn't expecting to go on an expedition when we left.
Well, if it gives us more of a likelihood that everyone is well equipped, I think that we should. Or at least some should.
Perhaps we could use the pile of money the kings gave us to buy supplies in Potterdam.
Yes, the one that we were supposed to be sharing.
The pile of money that I handed to Cypher for safekeeping. The money that Cypher has.
I'm keeping it safe. What do you want from me?
Cypher.
Yes.
Cypher.
What?
Do you have the money I gave you?
Of course I do.
I just wanted to make sure. You are bad with money sometimes.
Excuse you.
Well, you lost so much to me.
That was a one-time thing, and you've since given it back, so I think we're good.
Very well. I just don't have a lot of other interactions to base that off of. So, have you lost a lot of other money to people in the past?
You know what? We just need to go. We need to go. Let's do... If we have to make a stop, we have to make a stop. Fine, we'll buy things.
Is that perhaps why you're so grumpy all the time? Anyways, let's go to Potterdam.
During your 1 day's travel already that has passed, you have made your way most of the way to Pottendam. The entire trip, Haver has been quiet, your messenger from Bolsenia. And mostly just contemplative, not staring off into the nothingness like he was the morning before you left. But much closer to the way that Bevan and Pell saw him on the travel to Tyrhaven. Like, maybe traveling this direction is giving him more peace.
Look, if we go north and go through Lorch before we enter, then we're dealing with, at least for the first day's travel, terrain I'm personally a little more familiar with. And I can pick up things from my hunting camp. But if you all are against that, we can go straight west. We can probably re-equip here in Pottendam. Hell, if you don't want to stop and see your moms, we can just not tell them we're in town. It's up to you all, though. I'm not...
Hell, are you wanting to
charge of
stop
this.
to see them? To do something... Like you might not see them again for a while, you know?
I mean, it would be nice, but personally, my parents and I have kind of already made peace with the fact that someday I might just be gone pretty quickly and there's nothing they can do about it. And I like wrap myself up in my scarves and stuff and like warm my hands a bit.
Then they might believe you if you say that you need to do this, and they won't try and stop you. And at least you can, I don't know, see them one last time.
I mean, that's true. They were really overprotective when I was younger, and they've kind of accepted. We did our grieving when I was younger already, and there's just no point to be sad about it anymore.
Of course, if you don't want to concern them, you can just tell them you're going on a hunting trip in the woods. Unless you would think that would be a cruel thing to do.
A lie of omission, right? Hey, Cypher.
What do you think is right?
No matter what happens, Cypher, you gotta promise me that you won't go into the hollow without me.
What?
If Bevan tries to leave me behind, you gotta come get me. I want to go.
We've agreed as a party that we are going to do everything we can to stay together. So I don't think anyone's getting left behind. I don't really make promises. I tend not to do that. But I will try my best to
I hold
keep
out
us
my
all
pinky
together.
to Cypher.
What? What is that? What are you doing?
You've never pinky sworn before?
I've got this.
What? No.
No.
Okay, dad joke.
If I hit him, I hit stone. If I hit him, I hit stone. If I hit him, I hit stone.
I'm glad that that mantra has really, resonated with you.
Thank you,
She
Kaja.
says sarcastically, and she's gonna hunch over to Bevan. Whatever you did, you might want to fix it before we get into the hollow. That's just my outsider's opinion.
I don't have a time machine. I don't know how to go back and inform her of things that I didn't think she would want to know.
Apologize harder? I don't know
Harder.
Pell's interests, but something nice.
As you walk and talk, ahead of you, you begin to see the peaks of the river city of Pottendam, a bustling river town full of bridges and barges. It's mid-morning, so it is quite busy. There are carts coming and going, heading to Tyrhaven, heading towards Pottendam on the road. And you see that the road widens as you approach. The city itself sits on the Etzel River, receiving waters from the Hollow. At this distance from the Hollow, it is actually too dangerous to fish in Pottendam. So the only river activity going on here are trade goods, largely being stocked from rivers that have from ships that have made the journey upriver through Lorch and to Pottendam, only to then turn around and go back to Corin, the neighboring kingdom. Because if they kept going upriver, they would A, meet a very steep waterfall near the small village of Ostenbrock, but also would end up in the Hollow. The city of Pottendam is, while not the same size as Tyrhaven, quite large. It is one of the largest trade areas on this side of the kingdom and feeds goods to most of the farms and very small villages in the area. For the most part, anything can be found in Pottendam. It's a very old town, predates the war. And it is also a town of bridges, easily passed over to cross the Etzel towards the border to the Hollow. The road opens up ahead of you as wagons, already having passed quite a few this morning, make their way eastward towards Tyrhaven and north to Vegcruz. They squeak by as you all walk along the muddy roads, and almost at the very front, walking a little bit more westward than the road would like him to, is Haber.
All right, so what's the verdict? Are we equipping here, or are we continuing through to Lorch? Any major equipment you're going to want to buy here. There's not a whole lot in Lorch, but, rations, basic goods.
Let's make sure that my kit is stocked, and she'll do so when the time comes, but she'll stay here for now.
I mean, anything non-perishable that was on the table definitely went into my pack.
Yes, I noticed.
I'm glad you did. You're getting better at that.
Yeah, it's not my specialty, but I seem to be picking up something. Maybe
I'm going to need to be more
cipher
careful around
is
you.
contagious after all.
I thought so too. That is probably why Pell is so upset. Cypher, you should be more careful around people.
I'm sure that's the reason. And she'll
Actually contemplating that this might be a thing now.
As you all approach the gate to Pottendam on the road, while the city itself is not fully walled in, there are guards and fences that largely enclose the inhabited area of Pottendam, which, once you get past the muddy roads, is actually cobblestones and shows signs of being relatively lived in and civilized.
Don't like
You
it.
see Haber fumbling through his pack, looking for something.
Are you alright?
Shit, I'm going for a walk.
Looking for the seal, so that the guards don't interfere. Can't seem to find it. And he begins to frantically look through his pack.
Well, I don't think that the guards would interfere, but
Certainly
yeah,
not. We are on official business.
yes. And they happen to sometimes just let people in because they
Um,
have to.
I think
I have to
Kaja
return
here
the.
is your new seal as far as getting through gates.
And that big shiny mace that Gabbro has.
Maybe if I show them this, they'll give us a fancy place.
No, I've with maces, since this is now your new weapon of choice, it's better to keep that at your side and not in someone's face until it is intentionally to harm said individual.
Well, that is very nice. I wish to show it to people.
I don't think that would be necessary.
Very well,
just-
Dr. Kaja.
I'm supposed to return the seal.
Oh, see the
To
guards
Iza.
in Iza. Ooh, that's much. I mean, they'd probably. That's a history discussion for later. But
Did I put it somewhere?
I'm gonna flip a coin real quick.
Yeah, do it. Live your life.
Kaja turns around to Cypher. Or where she thinks Cypher is. Is Cypher around?
I went for a walk not far from you. I'm
Are you like
appearing
whistling
to
while
look
you
at
do it?
things.
This is very subtle.
No,
You-
just looking at things, not paying attention to the current conversation at all.
You know, it probably fell on the way here. So you all stay here, and Cypher and I will retrace our steps. I seem to have a keen eye, and Cypher seems to have a keen eye. And we'll look around.
I hope I didn't
for-
drop it. But yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
And we're going.
Come
Kaja
here.
has that motion too. She's like, okay, you
Does
keep
everyone else walk on?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah,
under my breath,
keeping track.
not to get to their attention, and you can't steal an undead's most prized possession.
First of all, that's your second accusation of the day in the last 2 days.
It's pretty obvious. I feel that as though if Gabbro was missing anything, he would tell us right away. And you said it. And if I'm to believe your word, you didn't grab anything from me. And those two don't seem like they have much to their name. Bless their hearts, but I just don't think that they have anything that you would want to nab. So
Fine.
there's only certain.
Let's just say,
things.
hypothetically, if I did,
Hypothetically.
what would the problem be? He's dead anyway. He'll be more dead later. And where we're going, who's to say there are even the guards still there?
I think that it would make him very comfortable and less antsy. I don't know about
It's-
you, but I've done
Kaja, it's currently,
before,
hypothetically,
and
if it's in my possession, it is currently making me more comfortable.
do you want me to split it in two so that both of you can have peace?
There's like shock and dismay and pain on this expression. Absolutely not.
Do you have anything on your person that you can make a really realistic looking copy? If it matters that much to you, then keep it, but you're going to have to come up with something because I am not the best at prolonged lying.
I mean, it's a pretty simple lie if it just fell out of his pouch somewhere and it's way back there and we can't go back for it.
Do you want to go on a weeks-long mission trying to find something that we clearly know where it is? We need to go to the Hollow.
Fine, if we find it in the next 2 minutes on the ground somewhere, it fell out of his pouch, say,
Yes.
and I give it back to him. Can you help me make sure that I get it back?
Yes, of course. If it's to be believed and we encounter whoever is the one that has, risen him, I doubt that they will be around for much longer, although their company is nice. It's the inevitable truth. So I don't see why
Kaja,
not.
you know more than anyone that I don't trust. I'm trusting you with this.
And I appreciate that a lot. But all I'm saying is that we could use a little bit of empathy to their situation. And as soon as it is...
That I have, Kaja. Kaja, I have empathy for him. I think more than anyone, except maybe Pell. But I'm more alive than him, I know that.
Yes, and I know that as well.
I need this more than he does.
All right, I will not say anything and will do everything in my power to help you get it if we give it back to them at this moment. But I also expect, in case this turns into a very, very strong compulsion, as these types of risen again folk do, then you will put your best staff, and she'll just gesture to staff, best staff or school staff, I should say, forward, because that is a very, very awful situation to be in.
Fine. Don't forget what I said about trust. And he'll bend down and pretend to pick something up and put the seal in her hand.
And I will never forget that. We should return before it gets a little bit obvious, more than it already is.
As everyone walks on, for a moment, Haver walks with you all. And then is unable to do anything except search his pack.
Did you check, like, in your boot? Like, sometimes you stick something in there and then you just forget it's there.
He fully starts to untie his extremely long laces on his boots and begins to actually, like, take his boots off. It takes a while.
Yeah. I only think because that happened to me once. I totally forgot that I had a whole stone.
I mean, it's pretty big, but sure, yeah, anything at this point.
Yeah. Wild. I thought it was like some sort of amulet or something. Turns out it was just weird rock. I had it checked out.
Yeah.
Weird rock
Around
is
this
very
time,
special.
Kaja and Cypher, you can return.
Well, good news. I think that we found it. It was not too far off the road. Probably just, slip of the, whatever you were carrying it in. I don't know.
Kaja, roll a deception check.
Let's see. Okay. All right.
I gently touch her with guidance.
Okay, I'll allow it. There's been no ruling. She said nothing yet.
It's not gonna help.
Hey, you never know.
I mean, I can also aid you.
How would you go about aiding her in this moment as you see her flounder as she produces the seal?
Haver, you and I both know how important that is. Don't lose it again.
Okay. You may. I think, Cypher, I'd rather you roll an intimidation check than a deception check.
Oh, snap.
The eye control.
7.
Worse. Kaja, how'd you do?
Yeah.
Man, you
You
guys
know
are.
what? Because Kaja would do this, so I'm gonna do this. It's flashback time.
All right, first flashback.
So, I guess in this flashback, you see a much younger Kaja, talking to what seems to be guards outside of her house, and she is in lots of tears, just bawling. There's blood on her robe, which is a very similar robe to the one that she wears, of course, but much smaller. Talking and we were on our way to town, and I'm so
Calm
sorry.
down, miss. It's all right.
There are burglars, but they're really strong burglars, and they saw my parents, and I'm sorry. I can't help. I'm so sorry. Can I just go?
Of course. I'm sorry.
And that is how she would know how to use deception.
Absolutely. As you look at Haver, his eyes betraying the fact that he is beginning to piece together this ruse that you have both loosely established between the two of you, the honesty of the tears well behind your eyes just a little. And he looks away. He can't question someone who has been kind to him and someone who acts with such honesty. Thank you. I promise I'll keep better track of it. And holding it in his hand, you see the tension wash off of him. To Pottendam, then.
Mm-hmm.
And then onward to the hollow.
Just
There's
sort
a
of
saying
Above
where I'm from.
game here, what did we decide? Are we going up through Lorch, or are we going directly into the hollow?
Yeah, which way are you going?
Kaja doesn't care, so majority vote, in my opinion.
I think
The
it's
best
actually
way to
Pel's
pass a rock
decision.
is through. So I say we move straight forward.
Wonderful.
Well, Bevan wants to step back. Where did Pell land on to...
Probably would want to see your parents.
Yeah. Does Cypher have an opinion
Grumble.
other than grumbling to himself?
Honestly, I think if she said that out loud, it would bring me back to a current moment and not a past one, and I would support her fully in that decision.
Would mention that you know. So, Pottendam is a bustling place. If anyone would like to purchase any supplies or anything, they're yours. We're not going to nickel and dime you through this adventure. Anything that is not a magical item, food, anything you can carry within reason is probably available to you. I know that there was mention of wanting armor and things like that. We can talk about it between sessions, but it's no sweat off my back. And Pottendam would provide it. It is the place for it.
Let DM know how much you spent, and I'll take it out of the gold pouch.
Especially if Bevan does it, because we've established that Bevan did not bring money, and I'm going to imagine that Gabbro didn't either.
Just mine.
Unless he's still got that gold left.
Just whatever I had from Cypher.
Bevan might take the opportunity of being in a bigger city to maybe like find. I don't know. Would there be like better arrows than he would normally make or get from the local blacksmith?
There are actually arrow smithies in Pottendam because of the proximity both to the Basalt Forest and to the fields between Pottendam and Austenbrook, where things do come out of the hollow. There is a pretty healthy hunting community in the area, and yeah, you would actually find an arrowsmith and be able to get some pretty nice arrows with actually forged heads and things like that.
Yeah, I think because whatever he has is usually a combination of like shafts that he carves himself and crafts, and then whatever arrowheads the local blacksmith, who probably focuses more on farming implements and shit. So yeah, some nice arrows are probably a good idea.
Easily done. They're beautifully made with nice striped fletchings. They're some of the nicer arrows that you've ever held, but they cost comparable to the ones that you're used to. Lorch has not an arrowsmith, and usually you just buy supplies and you make do.
Yeah, and it's like usually the blacksmiths making like horseshoes and nails and shit, and so it's like, oh, you got to change gears to make arrows, but they charge extra. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but like, I'm fine about it.
Anyone else have anything in particular? Yeah, what do you got?
I would like to accompany Bevan while he goes searching for arrows. My good friend Red.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Red, I have a question for you.
All right. Hopefully I have an answer for you.
I think your friend is upset with you.
Yes.
Do you understand why?
I do. Yes.
Why then?
Because I didn't warn her before I went and did something dangerous. And it turns out that she actually wanted to do the dangerous thing as well, apparently.
Why did you not bring her with you? She is a powerful battle asset. Do you see the way she destroyed that book ghost? It was incredible. She launched spells across the room.
Bevan stops.
You broke a window.
Wherever they're walking in the street. And, like, grabs Gabro by the shoulder and turns so they're facing each other. You said you haven't been to the Hollow, correct?
I have not, but I know that I must go there.
Right. Some of the strongest and frankly most dangerous people I've ever met passed through our town on their way to the Hollow. And that was the last time I ever saw any of them. So I don't want to go there. I never wanted to go there. I just sort of ended up there again and again. Not quite what Haver is dealing with here with the whole turn off, but it's almost like I couldn't control it. Like I knew I was doing it, and most of me knew I didn't want to, but part of me said I had to. And as far as I know, Pal has never felt that compulsion. And I really don't think it's a great thing to have added on to everything else that, you know, anyone has to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So
I think I understand.
Yeah.
But, dear friend Red, you are clearly stronger than all those individuals that went into the Hollow before you. Because you, my friend, returned. And so did Pell. So there is something special about both of you, I imagine.
Let me ask you something.
Of course.
If
I am
there
very
are,
wise.
let's say there were a bunch of dogs, wild dogs, feral dogs, right? They're all sort of hanging around a town, right? One of the dogs gets sort of adopted as a pet by somebody in the town. And the rest get hunted for being nuisances. Was that one dog stronger or just kind of lucky?
Red, you are not a feral dog.
Don't be so sure about that. And he turns and keeps walking.
Spicy.
I definitely want to take Pell on a shopping spree.
Amazing.
I've never had money before.
I've never had people with money before.
For the first time ever, I don't have a compulsion for stealing because of a recent conversation. So let's spend this bitch before we die.
Yeah, because I don't know when that'll be. That could be like 10 minutes from now, or it could be 80 years. I'm really not sure when that one's going to happen.
While we're shopping, can you explain whatever this was?
Yeah, so you pinky swear. It's a promise. It's just a little bit more of a promise. Because you pinky swear.
How is it more?
Because you do that.
Isn't that how some people drink tea?
No, but you link your hands together, and I like grab his hand and like smush them together, and you notice that her hands are just icy, like almost painfully cold to you. And you link them together like that, and it's just a little bit more of a stronger promise because you're linked a little bit. But it's not like life and death because it is just your pinky. But
Life
you know,
and
it still
death.
means a bit more.
Okay, so like I said, I don't normally make promises. What
Right, but
exactly are you wanting me to stronger promise now?
Don't go into the hollow without me.
Ever?
I mean, not ever. That would be like, that's like a long time probably. But like this time, like this plan.
Can I promise you I will do my very best? And I won't. There's a flash of, he can't believe he's about to say this. I won't lie to you.
Her face fell a bit when you said try your very best, because that's like not great. But it lights back up at the not lying because you hit a sore spot. Yeah. Just don't lie to me.
I pinky promise. I won't lie to you.
So can I ask a question then?
Oh no. Sure, I can't promise I'll answer. How about that?
Whose skull is on your staff?
Well, that might be a story for another time. Let's spend some money.
But you will tell me, right? You'll tell me sometime?
I can't lie to you. If the time is right, I will tell you.
Okay, I guess. Okay, so how do you spend money? Because I don't.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Okay.
What insane things do you buy on your shopping adventure? There's clothes
there?
and food. There's blacksmiths,
So much food.
books. You name the goods because this is where the river ends, essentially. Even though it does keep going for about a day's travel south. This is where the river stops because this is the safest spot in Hull for the river to end.
I buy some fancy embroidered mittens because mine are a little old and raggedy. And I get some with the little flap that covers your fingers and you can move them back and forth for ease of spell cast.
Quilted,
Mhm.
beautiful, lined
Mhm.
mittens. They're
And
yours.
I kind of see a nice like hip quiver. I guess I buy it for Bevan because I guess he is my friend still. Even though I'm mad at him right now.
This hip
up until-
quiver actually has 2 cranes flying at each other and kind of wrapping around their tailwinds, kind of wrapping between them, is a quiver from the kingdom of Vitotochi,
That's very
the
on
southern
point
kingdom.
because we do go bird watching together. When I'm too sick to
Yeah.
hunt, we go bird watching instead.
Cypher.
We can try on clothes together.
Oh my god,
And
montage.
New
I,
outfits.
have only been wearing this like plain black cloak that's all ripped and tarnished and shredded, and it looks pretty cool, but it would be nice to get a new one. And we've got such great artists hanging out at Mercs of Mischief that drew a really cool purple cloak that I suppose I purchased now. And yeah, I suppose also some practical things like potions of healing.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. We can talk through all the things that you buy and how much gold is left.
Yeah, Pell's like, I'm not used to using equipment. I don't have equipment. Things just happen, and I point, and they just do things. So, like, I don't even know what equipment is, aside from my crossbow, which is fine. It's a good crossbow. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. You both stock up, and there's plenty to be had.
Before this shopping spree, Kaja's excused herself and is going to like the nearest alchemist or herbalist shop, and will be working there until we need to leave.
Yeah, you come in and it's easy to just like borrow their table. They charge you a few coin, but it doesn't cost much, and you are easily able to do the thing that you requested. While you are all shopping, who's watching Haver?
I probably volunteered to do that.
You feel like everybody else walked off too, so Haver just got left with Kaja.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, my
Kaja,
job.
you start looking for this place, and as everyone's splintered off and you begin to walk towards what you're looking for, and Haver is standing there staring due west.
We will get to where we're going, but we do need some more supplies, so we can hang on a little bit longer. I know I've said this before, but we will get you where you need to go. But for now, I'm going to the alchemist shop if you would like to have some bee company.
Yeah, okay.
I'm told that this one has like the nicest chairs for people waiting.
Okay. Sure. And while he does follow you, you occasionally do have to like remind him to pay attention to things that aren't creepily standing in the middle of the road and staring westward and almost getting hit by carts. Wonderful. You guys go about your antics in Pottendam, and it takes you the majority of the day. You could have been in the Hollow by sundown today, but instead you had some resupply, and you all regather with your goods and travel northward to Lorch. What side of the Etzel do you travel on? Do you travel on the eastward side towards Tyrhaven, where there are fields and some occasional overspillage of camps from the lively town of Vegcruz, or on the hollow side of the Etzel on the west, where there are some marshes and fields, but also places more familiar to Bevan?
I say west side. West side.
Yeah, if we're going on the west side, though, then we really got to keep an eye on Haver. The river would at least slow him down if we travel the east bank. in case he makes a break for it. But yeah, no, I'm fine with West Side, and I think Bevan would,
Okay.
out of habit, go towards this.
As I see that we're traveling on the west side, I'm gonna reach out and gently tap Bevan's shoulder and cast my daily Gift of Alacrity on him. So if anything attacks us, you add a 1d8 to your initiative, Bevan.
When you do, Bevan kind of feels it kick in. Must not be that mad at me.
Well, it's just so maybe you hit them next time, okay?
He's low.
You
What-
all.
so-
I like to
Go
think that Kaja and Cypher made those faces. Actually.
What? I understand that you feel like I should have told you before going into the Hollow. But, like, can you see how it's something you've never asked? I kind of thought we had an unspoken thing that you didn't want to talk about the Hollow.
Look, you're not wrong, but you are being stupid about it. And those things can both be true.
I've never lied to you
You just left
when
out
you've asked me anything.
a giant chunk of your life that I didn't even know to ask about because you've never wanted to go into the Hollow. I didn't think you would, so I didn't think to ask, and it's not fair
It's
that you're
hardly
blaming me for not reading your mind.
it's hardly a giant chunk of my life. It's a few times I got pulled in. Look, what do you want to know? Ask now. Because if we're going back in there, there's no reason to avoid it. We're not avoiding it now. We're confronting. We're walking directly in there.
I don't know, what does it look like? Are there creatures there?
There are lots of creatures there. Most of them look similar to they do out here. Though sometimes they look different. There are a few things I've only seen in there, but they're things that I've heard of out here, so that might just be coincidence. But there's things that I wouldn't necessarily call creatures, though maybe you could. There's all kinds of things in there.
And when you walk out normal, right? Not.
You never noticed a difference? I've been in there a handful of times. Whether or not the first time I walked out, I was the same as when I walked in, I can't tell you. I don't know. I was the age I was when you met me. I may have been that age for a very long time. I don't know. It may have been a very short time. I honestly don't know. And I honestly... The only reason I ever made it out of there the first time is because something decided to keep me alive. And that same thing, as far as I can tell, is what also decided to send you home in one piece. But I don't know.
Is it One Piece? And I put an ice cold hand on his bicep.
Well, let's talk about what you never want to talk about.
Okay.
How much of this, all of this that you are, was there before you walked in for the first time?
I don't think any of it was. I mean, I was like really young, like 6, but I was normal. My heart beat faster. My blood was red, not brackish black. When I scraped
Evan.
my knees, I cried. I didn't accidentally summon a giant shadow dog.
Evan, while Pell is pouring her heart out to you, you for a second see a flicker of shadow overhead. And just out of the corner of your eye, you catch a white wing circle overhead.
Yeah, you see. All right. First, a look of great concern, on Bevan's face. But yeah, then as he looks up, well, what about the disguising, the shape changing thing?
Oh, I could do that. I mean, I could do that since I was born.
So that was always part of
and
you.
you sometimes change, and it's just happens sometimes. And then you get older and you can control it more. You've seen my parents do it.
What about the shooting magic
That seemed new.
out of your hands? And he's like, you can see his attention is starting to like split a little bit. Okay, look. Anything else you want to ask? What is it? But that's about all I know. Is it's something. And then Bevan puts out his arm.
As the you finish that sentence, and Pell, you see, as Bevan reaches his arm out, a large white owl lands like he's going to it's going to attack Bevan, and the wings slow it down, and you see as it gets closer, this is a really big owl.
Mm-hmm. I'm bracing to do some tag team magic bullshit.
And
Where's-
all of you can see.
Yeah, where are the
as
rest of you
this
standing when this happens?
giant owl begins to descend on Bevan.
I instinctively cast darkness, so that nothing else can see through this except me. Yeah, and what's the radius on darkness? Yeah, 15 foot circle centered on me, I believe.
What's a little chaos? Yes, it's on you.
I cast it on my mittens so that it will travel with me as I move.
Cool.
So yes, 15 foot. If you're in a 15-foot radius with me, you suddenly cannot see in the darkness. I, however, can see in the darkness because I'm special like that.
So
You're just pretty like that.
I, of course, would want to protect my good friend Red, and I would use my fighting style of interception
Of course.
to rush in with my shield out. But of course, with this magical darkness being thrown out, it's entirely possible that I would miss my mark, flinging my large, wide shield out.
I'm gonna have you roll an attack at disadvantage with your shield.
I really thought this was something that Pell would be aware of already. But
I don't
What,
know.
the
Have you
owl?
told her?
what?
What?
Well, apparently not.
Are you keeping more secrets?
No.
Okay. I don't know what this is.
All right, that is a 19 and a...
Hey, yeah.
Where is it?
A shield comes
16.
flying out of the darkness. I love this. I love chaos. Yes, absolutely.
I've got you, friend.
Bevan, in the darkness, as it bubbles around you, which you recognize this from Pell.
Yeah. Pell, what?
You
Hold on, what are
hear-
you doing?
Thunk!
It's a giant owl.
That's Ingram's
got it.
owl. I think Ingram. You do know Ingram is another hunter in town. You definitely didn't know about their owl. But you've probably met Ingram a time or two.
Pell.
Yes.
Bevan says the name Ingram. You've met Ingram.
Great.
Ingram is a extremely excitable gnome. They often are found at the tavern in Lorch, and when you don't find them in the tavern, you don't know where they are. They're just gone. But you do know them to be another hunter of the wilds.
Okay. But it was attacking. It was gonna attack you.
I think it's. Could you lift the darkness?
You sure?
Haja
I'm
and
positive.
Cypher, what are you guys up to while all of this chaos is occurring around you?
So
First, I
other
want to
peop-
know who got hit with the shield.
Well, it was none of your compatriots if you
Ew.
Yeah.
I saw the owl, and before I could really react to the owl, it was darkness around the owl, and so my instinct is to protect Kaja, and I'm just going to her. And I guess
Kaja was
Eivor.
as far as away as possible, and Eivor with her. She probably like dragged Eivor outside of that personal conversation, and then
Yeah.
hears like yelling and sees like some darkness and like, oh, and takes a step forward and probably runs into Cypher. Are they all right? It doesn't really sound like a fight.
After Gabbro interjects violently, a moment later, Hell, you dropped the darkness.
Yeah, I'm at this point. I'm kind of like, oh my god, do you think I killed it? Do you think I killed the owl? And I
The
dropped it.
darkness drops, and
didn't kill the owl because I was about to ask him for some favors.
next to Bevan on the ground, sticking out of the dirt, is Puck's shield. Is Gabbro's shield just resting, waiting? The earth is holding it for you. It's fine.
Absolutely.
And on the ground, flopping around in a whole area of feathers, is Zeal,
Oh,
the white owl, she is unhappily picking her feathers and kind of like flopping, and there is a mark of where the feathers are supposed to be that they are now missing. And over the hill you hear, "What in the hell are you doing to my owl?"
Hair, the natural enemy of Earth.
I panicked.
Blue, stand down. Hold on, Ingram.
Thank
I'm
goodness I
so
saved you.
sorry. I picked up Zale. I'm like, hey. Beautiful
You'll-
bird. Are you okay?
Hops up and like literally is hopping, and she just kind of at you and starts to hop towards the voice as you all see this gnome with kind of really messy hair, very unkept hair, leathers, and this very stern look on their face. Darker hair, darker complexion, with white eyeliner, come walking over the hill wearing a longbow or a short bow. Sorry, I forget how
It's long
gnomes
on them.
work. It looks long
It's
on
long
them.
for him.
They're doing their bestest. Oh, it is a longbow. Hey, I
There you
know
go.
how to read. And a quarterstaff, very obviously a hunter with a long leather sleeve. They hold out their arm, and this owl, unhappy, kind of fluffing at
I'm
you,
so sorry,
Gabbro,
bud.
Oh, I am staring
hop,
daggers
hop.
back at this owl.
and begins
Wait,
to
yes.
fly towards this
What are
gnome.
we doing to your owl? More like, what is your
Yeah.
owl doing to our friend?
Guys, did you
Yes,
not see
tell
me
him,
put my
Skullstaff.
arm out? I was calling it. I know this owl. We go way back.
I thought you threw your arm out to protect me.
I was
think that's
Bevan,
basic
know
to
this
owl.
owlry and falconry and other types of birds-ary.
Oh, hey,
Use your arm
Bevan
out.
has friends. Oh, hi, Pell.
I'm really
Ingram?
sorry about your owl.
Birds.
I was just, this is a misunderstanding. Everybody's a little jumpy. Actually, wanted to talk to you about that.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. I'm Ingram. Pleasure to meet you all. I'm a hunter in these parts, and this is my owl, Zell.
Yeah.
Staring down this owl.
Bevan like walks over and reaches digs in his pouch and takes out a good berry and tries to offer it to Seal as a thing, and it's like it seems fruitless. I don't know why an owl would take this berry, and she's probably pissed at me right now. I'm gonna try.
She kind of sniffs it. You see her kind of like get in, and her little like beak gets right against it, and she kind of.
Okay, all right, we're cool, right?
She'll be all right.
Yeah.
You see that Zell is almost the same height as Ingram. This is a very large owl.
Birds.
Buy you a drink. How about that?
All right. You can introduce me to your friends. You have friends? Did you hire him?
No, Red is my best friend.
All
Well,
right.
We sat together in the woods silently for days.
Oh, that's actually a bit how we're friends.
Yeah, I ran into him once, and we kind of partied up. Walk and talk. Actually,
Sure.
because we have kind of been hired for a thing. And yeah, so as we make our way over to the tavern, like before we get into the tavern, I'm gonna basically fill them in on, like, we've got a commission from the kings to go into the Hollow.
The moment you tell them that you're going into the hollow, they're like, "You're still crazy. You're a bit crazy, actually."
I'm fair enough, but look, I don't want to really spread that around too much, because I mean, like, never trying to make it seem okay or cool to head in there.
Yeah.
The other thing too is, I don't know when we'll be back. So if you could just kind of look after, watch the border a little bit, see if anything comes out.
Sure.
while
Yeah, I could do that.
I'm gone. And also,
Be a
feel
bit
free
of,
to make free use of my cabin while you're gone,
Ooh.
and while I'm gone. And honestly, if any big parties come through looking to hire, it's on you, man. You have to a little lore or something.
Sure. Yeah. All right. You all, as Bevan and Ingram and Seal, the giant white owl, all make your way towards the very small, picturesque village of Lorch. Lorch
well.
is a small village that has rafts that span a huge section of the river. And they are separatable as ships cross regularly from Pottendam and from the north. But on the solid ground part of Lorch is both a small town square and a selection of very quaint little homes. The city streets are not paved in cobblestones like they were in Pottendam, but they're loved, and all of the buildings here seem to be fairly well kept. Welcome home, Pell. Bevan.
It's like, for Pell, it's like the opening of Beauty and the Beast. There must be
Absolutely.
more than this whole town.
And everyone in town stops to say hello.
And they're
All,
like, that's a funny girl.
And all 4 people kind of give you a cordial little like, oh, hi, pal. Lorch is not very big. Most people that say hello to you are coming from the river with their fishing rods over their shoulder, coming in from a morning's fishing.
Why are the eggs here so expensive? No.
For real.
Guy keeps eating all of them. He eats like 24 a day. It's getting to be really problematic.
Also, like, don't do that. But welcome to Lorch. Where are you all destined to? You are going to the tavern?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the tavern first to buy Ingram a drink.
Wonderful.
And just kind of exchange info.
You all find your way to the Knotted Trawl Inn. It's not a big inn. It's definitely like a third of the size of the inn that you guys saw in Tyrhaven where Cypher was staying. And as you guys walk through the city streets, it is in the town square because it is the only inn and tavern in town. The town square is not big.
I think Cypher has probably passed through here or stayed here at some point, in and out.
For sure.
So I guess this question is probably more for Pell. What would Cypher know what your parents did with it being this small of a town? Like, would Cypher have run into them at some point?
It could have, and Pell's definitely mentioned it before. If you can like keep up with her mile a minute talking, that you get a picture that like they run the bakery. They're in the center of town, right on the square. They're affable people, upstanding members of society. If you needed bread, you would run into Pell's family.
Friendly and happy to deliver food.
Yes. Oh my god, you guys, my parents are going to be so happy that I have friends.
Oh,
Excellent.
Lovely. And I'm excited to try their treats. They're bakers, yeah?
Yeah, they make really good pastries and croissants. I mean, like, the bread is a staple of the town, but they make really good almond croissants.
That sounds lovely.
That does sound lovely. I want to say, Pell, you did an excellent job with that globe of darkness.
Oh,
Birds are
thanks.
not to be trusted.
I didn't really think too hard about it, and I also feel bad now.
Well,
I mean, it's just a bird.
do not feel bad. Birds are not to be trusted in any way.
As you say this, Cell kind of hops over to you on the ground and just like bites your leg.
Ah, you see the treachery inherent within them. They mock the earth.
To be a druid right now, you have it so good sometimes.
Birds and creatures of the air are natural enemies of the earth. They mock it, flying above her grand creations, high above.
Bevan, this is
Most
the
unnatural.
guy. This is your friend.
Yeah, he's that guy.
The king gave him a really shiny mace, too.
Would you
Can
like to
believe
see it? It's very
It's a little messed
powerful.
up.
Okay.
How's the crime rates in Lodge, yeah?
Pretty low.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
On the mention of crime rate, I pull Pell aside a little and I'm like, in the spirit of being honest with you, I think I should let you know I may have stolen from your mothers.
How much?
I can't remember, but their baking is really good and I'm often very hungry and without money.
Just like buy some danishes and tip really well, and it'll probably be okay.
Okay,
I mean, thanks for not lying.
you're welcome. And he looks at his pinky.
Amazing.
Yeah, so my main conversation I want to have with Ingram, though, aside from just the general
Yeah.
field notes check-in. So look, if everything goes, everybody kind of follows through on their promises, there should be a large purse of gold showing up here.
All
From
right.
the kings in the next couple days. I'm entrusting you to make sure that gets put to the right use. By which I mean keeping dangerous things from coming out of the hollow and hurting the town.
Sure. You know, your altruistic streak, it's fascinating.
I guess I never really thought of it that way. Just kind of seems easier to blanket watch. Huh. Well, at any rate, I might not be back, so...
You say that every time.
Yeah, so far it's been good luck.
Yeah. Alright, well, don't die. I'll,
But
you know
just
what? I won't drink your whole purse. That's a promise.
I'd appreciate that. And he, Bevan will, like, write out a document and sign it.
Nice.
Basically making Ingram my power of attorney until I return.
Nice. Yeah, easily done. You guys make a stop in the Knotted Trawl. It's a fishing tavern. It smells like fish. There is ale to be had though.
Did I get that right?
The Knotted Trawl.
Knotted Trawl. All right.
The only.
It's like a mud hole.
Yes, it's literally just another name for saying you have a knot in your fishing line. It's quite terrible. And you convey this to Ingram, who, while makes a lot of threats to drink away all the money and just sit in this tavern and do nothing, you get the vibe that they're interested in actually doing what you're asking.
They would get bored.
Yeah, they would get really bored.
I mean, I fully know that they'll spend a week drinking down like 50 gold worth of ale, but
absolutely.
Then they'll get bored
and Pell, you want to go see your mom's?
Yeah, let's go see my mom's.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does your bakery look like?
It's very quaint. It's very good. Oh, crap. What did I name the bakery? I do have this written somewhere.
I'm looking at your sheet right now trying to find the name.
I swear I named it, but I cannot find it. I know my parents' names.
Yeah, I do too.
Maybe I didn't name it. Crap.
It just says bakery over and over again.
Yep. It had a name. If I can come up with one between now and then, I will.
Bergstrom Bakery.
Yeah, it's probably just Bergstrom's, because that's the family name. And yeah, it's very cute and quaint. Big display windows with like tiers that show off pies and a lot of fish tarts, because we make a lot of stuff with just fish in it, and it's a little tiresome. And throw open the doors, and there's big displays and cute comfy tables and smell of apple pies baking and Mom, I brought friends.
Immediately from behind the counter, Aina, is that how you pronounce the name? Aina. I'm terrible at pronouncing names.
Fine, they're Scandinavian too, so
I love a Scandinavian name.
Theme going.
Yes, absolutely. Aina comes out from around the counter. Hell.
Yeah, Mommy. Hi.
Oh, and she runs over and just gives you the biggest hug.
Oof, Mom. Ooh, too tight. You gotta. Hey, Bevan's here too. Do you want to give Bevan a hug too?
And Aina stops for a minute, looks you over. Pell, make sure that you're whole.
I'm fine, Mom. I'm fine. Look, I even got new mittens.
You've got something in your hair. You all see exactly where Pell gets some of her immediate must-touch energy from, as Aina looks her over, pulls her hair off the side of her face and checks around her neck where underneath her scarf.
Yeah, and she's similarly kind of pale, but not nearly as pale. Now that you were staring at somebody who is related to Pell, it is quite abundantly clear when she's next to her that Pell is incredibly pale and off, and that you are seeing a correct skin tone, and Pell is not it.
Ina just looks like a blush of pink in her cheeks.
Beautiful, iridescent, light pink hair, fully beautiful and healthy.
A little bit of fullness in her cheeks and a little bit of brightness in her eyes that unfortunately you've never seen from Pell. But she seems content looking over her daughter, and then she looks to Bevan.
Ina.
Hi, and she comes and gives you a big hug too. Thank you, as always.
Everybody's in one piece.
And who is this?
This is Gabbro and Cypher and Kaja, and they're my new friends.
It is an honor to meet you. Pell is a powerful warrior. She killed a book ghost.
And Havor.
A book ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And also we have
Hell.
our friend Havor over there too.
Oh yeah, hey.
Hi. Hello. Well, of course. Come in. And she ushers you over to a table.
We can't stay for too long. We're just passing through. We are on a mission. You will never guess from who.
Honey. She turns around and similarly colored, a thinner but still extremely rosy-cheeked, similarly complected being emerges from the kitchen as Kennick. Yeah. With long, flowing, beautiful hair, pulled back in a little braid. Whereas Aina has Pell's similarly wavy hair. You see another woman emerge. Pell.
Yeah, Mom.
Hi.
Hi. I'm back.
And you see them both stand and look you over. The same routine.
I'm fine. I was with Bevan the whole time.
Okay. And Ina shovels off and brings back a loaf of bread, puts it on the table.
Thanks, Mommy.
And they dote on you all and ask you 1,000 questions about this book ghost and other such things.
Yeah, congratulations on your new moms.
And as you are, whether you like it or not, adopted by these two women, we are going to wrap our session there in Lorge. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on Of Those Lost. A final little outro from our lovely cast. And we look forward to seeing you guys in a week for what is probably our actual foray into the Hollow.
We're doing pretty good at avoiding it so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm very impressed. I've been Kai, your dungeon master. You can find me here in a week. We're gonna bounce it over to Arcady.
Hi, I'm Arcady. I play Pell, who's super happy to be here, and totally nothing is bad gonna happen at all. You can find me here next week, and also here on Monday at the same time, playing Last Light, where I switch it up and play someone way more manipulative.
The opposite of Pell.
Pell's manipulative, but like in a way that she doesn't know.
Yes. Jade.
Oh, hi, I'm Jade. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Jade Valkyrie. Here on Twitch is Jade Valkyrie with the 3. Currently streaming on my own channels on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Here's on Wednesdays, and then on Mondays I play a very bubbly fox girl, druid bard. So it's just a lovely combo, and that's on Feywild Now. And yeah.
Jonathan.
I am Jonathan. I play Bevan. I'm also the producer here. You can find me here.
Thank you, producer.
Check out my link tree if you
Thank
want to.
you,
If you really
producer.
want to know where to find other stuff I do, but none of it's as interesting. So
Oh, stop.
for now at least, at the moment.
Puck.
I'm Puck. You know who I am. I've been here the whole time. You can find me. I'm on all the things on this channel. Dungeon Master Puck, and I just want you all to know that I love you. Please keep watching and subscribing.
And you didn't kill the owl. I'm proud of you.
And I didn't kill the owl, although I do not trust it. If it flies, it lies. And
I'm
Only
just-
strong choices here on Mercs of Mischief, everyone. You heard it here. Last but not least, Saber, please end the madness.
But I started the Saber _ Sensei on Instagram, and always really happy to be playing with these fine folks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us as we slowly unravel the mysteries of the Hollow. Join us next week for our foray into darkness, where we see what the Hollow has in store. Until then, get some rest, and we'll see you very soon.
It's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D. We all agreed to play some D&D. That means role-playing, fighting and slaying, solving puzzles, maybe it's just me. But you guys won't.
No, we won't.
You guys just don't.
No, we don't.
Follow a single plotline through and through. I'm not complaining, but instead of gaming, you find the weirdest other things to do. There was adventure, but you guys wouldn't venture. Instead you said the mountains looked real nice. Middle of winter, you went to the hinter, lands of permafrost and frozen ice. You hid from every danger, you wizard, rogue, and ranger, and found the perfect alley for your quest. In the lands of no man, you guys built a snowman and said that this adventure was the best.